again with a video for you guys on how to use a spreadsheet, whether it's Excel, Google Docs, Open Office, I don't know, some other spreadsheet software that exists. I'm going to show you how to use spreadsheets to keep track of your costs. I'm going to show you how to track them all, hopefully, in one place. So when you're doing a recipe spreadsheet, it's very easy, copy paste into the formulas, and you'll be able to really very simply see how much your products are costing you to make and how much profit you have, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the spreadsheets. Roll that beautiful bean footage. All right, so we're going to do this in two parts, but first things first, let's create a spreadsheet with all of your ingredient base costs. Now you can do this sort of spreadsheet for all of your ingredients, for all of your products. It can be a huge spreadsheet. For the swiftness of this video, I have it all just for one single recipe. I tend to do this on paper, but I really think I am going to convert it into a spreadsheet because I just love spreadsheets. Anyways, you don't need to have Excel. They charge a lot of money for Excel. If you have a Google account, a Gmail account, which I think most people have a Gmail at this point, it's free to get one if you want. You can sign up there, and then docs.google.com. Make sure that, you are in the Sheets area. There's a documents and that sort of thing, spreadsheets, PowerPoint type things. It's not called PowerPoint, of course, because that's a Microsoft thing. Anyways, get yourself a spreadsheet going. This is free. If you don't want to do the Google thing, you can download Open Office, which is the same as Microsoft Office or this Google spreadsheet. Microsoft is very expensive these days, but there are free options. Then what you're going to do is enter the ingredient that you're talking about. And I like to leave a little initial of where I'm getting it from. So right now we're going to start with coconut oil from BA as Bulk Apothecary. So let's go here. Let's calculate the cost. This is the coconut oil I'm talking about. I tend to buy mine in the 7.5 pound buckets, which they calculated out for you conveniently, $4.50 a pound. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to get your calculator. 450 divided by 16 ounces. It's 28 cents per ounce. I work in ounces, so that's what we're going to enter here. 28. Now we're going to get some extra virgin olive oil, also from Bulk Apothecary. Sometimes I get my olive oil from Walmart as well, so that's where I would probably just enter underneath that the cost from Walmart. Again, I get the 7.5 pound jug. It's like a gallon jug. Oil tends to be a little bit more viscous than water. That's why only 7.5 pounds fits in there instead of 8. $5.23 a pound divided by 16 ounces. Round up, guys. Always round up. It is safer to say it costs a little more than costs a little bit less. So we're going to call that 33 cents. Shea butter. Again, if you're ordering from any supplier that you have, go to that website, calculate the cost in this exact manner. I'm trying to streamline this video, so I'm doing it all mostly from the same sort of website. However, enter all of your costs from all the places that you might shop from. It's going to save you a lot of trouble. Ooh, actually, I'm going back here because I get the unrefined. So that's 506. There we go, 32 cents. That seems about right. Rice bran oil. Now, depending on the amount of products that you make, you're going to end up with a large spreadsheet with all sorts of different ingredients in there. It's going to make your pricing so much easier in the long run. It really is. Rounding up to 16 cents for the rice bran oil per ounce. Again, but for the purpose of this video, I'm keeping it short and sweet. You can organize all of this by oils. You could have oils, butters. You can organize it however you want to also. All right, let's do some sow butter here. I don't get a lot of sow butter because I don't use it often, so I'm using the 14 ounce thing here. So for that, $6.85, we're dividing that by 14 ounces. So it's accurate here. It's a little pricier here. We're going to make that 49 cents per ounce. Calculate it out in the size in which you are buying it, guys. That's very important. But I don't know what sizes you're buying in, only you know that. Great prices on lye at Bulk Apothecary. I love me some Bulk Apothecary. So that's $2.87 divided by 16, 18 cents. Now we're going to be moving on to Indigo Fragrance for this crazy coconut fragrance oil from Indigo Fragrance. All right, so their website, I love Indigo Fragrance. I absolutely love this website. But you've got to kind of, where's their search field? Here it is. Takes a little more effort to navigate through their website. Okay, so Crazy Coconut, love this stuff. I get 4-ounce container, so that's $8.95. $8.95 divided by 4 ounces, $2.24 per ounce at that price. Again, one of the pricier things here. Okay, chocolate brown mica for this wonderful coconut sup we're doing. I'm getting this from Wholesale Supplies Plus. Let's see if this is going to bring it up the easiest way. Gingerbread brown, chocolate brown. I'm getting a 2-ounce jar. It's $10.70. Divided by 2, because we're already in ounces, it's $5.35 an ounce. You don't need a whole lot of mica though, so a little goes a long way. Now here's one that I do get at Walmart, is my aloe vera juice. I find this in the section. It's about $5.98 per gallon. So $5.98 divided by 8 pounds in a gallon. That's what it is per pound. Divided by 16. 5 cents. See what I did there? There's 8 pounds in a gallon. Or we could do it like this. $5.98 divided by 128 ounces. It's all the same. 5 cents. Boom. So here are my costs per ounce for all of my ingredients. See at the top here, average shipping cost. It took me a lot of time to determine how I was going to outline this for the purpose of this video. Some things, like things I get at Walmart, things I get at Wholesale Supplies Plus, and so forth, there is no shipping charge. Things I get from Indigo Fragrance, I'm not buying 40 pounds of fragrance oil at a time like I might be buying pounds and pounds of oils and butters from other suppliers. Your cost per ounce shipping small packages is going to be closer to $1 or even $1.50 per ounce in shipping if you calculate it out. If you're buying large amounts of butters and oils from 1 or 2 suppliers at a time and you're getting bulky weight, it ends up being about 8 cents, sometimes a little less than that per ounce. Now, how I do that is, say if I had all of these items in my shopping cart and the shipping is like $30, and I would divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, and then the total ounces, whatever. I did the work for you here. My average shipping cost out of all the things that I buy, average, that's adding in things where it's heavy shipping or at least expensive shipping, or things that don't have any shipping. 8 cents, 10 cents is a fair estimate for your average shipping cost. I calculate that into my recipe. If you want to go and try to calculate how much you pay for shipping each batch of anything that you've ever made, go for it. I don't think you need to do that. I think for the purpose of kind of just estimating average shipping cost, 8 cents per ounce is about what we have. So that's what I have here at the very top of my spreadsheet for costs. I recommend using that. If you know you spend a little bit more than that, you can bump it up a little bit. But it's very important that you roll the shipping costs into your costs when you're calculating your prices, or else you're gonna miss a huge chunk of what you're paying out to create your products. Okay, now we're gonna be moving on to the soap part. Here we go. All right, so here's what I did for this separate spreadsheet. This is again in Google Docs. You can do it in Excel. You can do it in Open Office spreadsheets. Whatever your spreadsheet program is that you have, use that. That works out great. It doesn't have to cost you anything to have a spreadsheet program. And here's where we're going to be doing some formulas too, which is I think hopefully going to be one of the more helpful things about doing this video. It's teaching you kind of how to use spreadsheets in a way that maybe you haven't before. First column A here, I put the ingredient for the specific recipe. I have coconut oil, olive oil, shea butter, rice bran oil, sow butter. I'm using the aloe juice, lye, the coconut fragrance, and a little bit of that chocolate mica in this recipe. The ingredients I've also put into here as well. I'll show you how I get to this a little bit later on. Here's the ounces of my recipe. This is the literal recipe right here. Now here's where we enter the cost per ounce from the other spreadsheet, and then I'll show you how these formulas work. So coconut oil, Control C, Control V, we're just going to pop it in there. All of these things. I have pre-entered my formulas, and I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second. Excel, or oops, I didn't copy properly. Actually, I hit paste there. Let's go back. This is 49 cents. Careful which buttons you hit. I'm over here fat fingering it. There we go. The math is already done. It tells you what all these are, but let's not forget about these other ingredients here. Lye. Aloe. Fragrance. And wait, no, mica. Perfect. We're already seeing some things here. So here's how you make 12 ounces multiplied by the cost per ounce. What you're going to do in this space, I've already entered the formula, so it's already going to do the math for me. However, when this is a blank space, all you need to do, and it shows up right here, you type in, here, let's just delete that, equal sign, column B, row C, B, or B3, I mean, see, and it highlights the cell. The times button is your Shift 8. You can't use a little X. It's not going to work. So you do the little star button, and then you're doing column C, row 3. This cell equals these two cells multiplied together because we are multiplying the cost per ounce by the amount of ounces that we're using. Are you following me? Boom, right there. And you can see it up here. That's what we did. This one's the same, but it's number 4, 5, 6, and so on. Okay. For all the ingredients in this particular recipe. Now at the bottom here, we're adding these together. So you go down here and I type it in here. You can type it in here. It does not matter where you type it in. You just have to type it in. Equals sum. Sum is adding them together. Now instead of hitting D3 plus D4 plus D5, blah, 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 you can do a D3 and then a little colon guy down to all the ones you're adding together. So we are adding D3 through D16. So D3 colon D16. And here's what you get. This is your total cost for this loaf of soap. This is a 2 pound of oil recipe, which is what I do in my normal tall and skinny mold. That gives me 8 bars. Over here in column E, we have pieces per recipe. If you're doing bottles of lotion, it would be how many bottles of lotion do you get? If you were doing bath bombs, how many bath bombs are you getting per this whole recipe? I get 8 bars, so the number here is 8. Material costs each. This is where we break it down to the cost per bar. This is the cost for the loaf divided by 8 is the cost per bar. Again, we enter the equation into the spreadsheet, equal sign, D18, this guy, divided by E18. Here's the cost divided into 8 bars. Cost per bar is $2.48 per bar of soap. Are you following me? Hopefully you're following me. This is math. There is a lot of math involved in these calculations. However, this is not complicated math. This is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And the beauty of the spreadsheet is you don't have to do the math yourself. You just need to know how to enter the formulas into the spreadsheet, which hopefully I'm showing you how to do right now. Now, here's something that is usually, what do you charge labor for each thing that you make? I've seen so many formulas for how to like calculate your overhead and how to try to come up with what you should charge beyond your materials charge. And all of them used to confuse the shit out of me when I was trying to calculate my own recipes. For me, it is so much easier to create a per item cost, to just roll it in. Now, I do a lot of private label wholesale work. That is how I pay my bills and how I survive. And I've been doing that for almost 5 years now. So I know that the things that I'm going to be demonstrating to you guys are enough to survive, and you're really getting your money's worth. You're not going to be making minimum wage. You're not going to be making over minimum wage. If you charge at least $2 per unit, your overhead costs are going to be covered. Your time is going to be covered, and you're going to make a profit. You have to sell your items, of course, to make money, obviously, but I would say $2 to $4 each, depending on the amount of work that you put in, and the amount that you're selling is what you should be charging labor cost for each individual piece of whatever it is you're making. Soap, lotions, bath bombs, lipstick, I don't know, whatever it is you're making, at least $2 each. We're going to do $2 here because soap has a high cost as it is. And it doesn't take a lot of work to make a tiny batch of soap like this. It doesn't take a whole lot of work. It really doesn't. Now, it's also important that you are factoring in additional packaging costs. These add up and they really make your final number kind of high. So what we're going to do here, we have your materials cost, we have your labor cost. We're putting in at $2 each. Again, this is my opinion, to at least charge $2 each. Never go below that for your own money that you're making for yourself, not just to cover your ass and everything. Your money covers your overhead, your time, and your profit. Say we're doing a soap box. Package these into. If you get 100 soap boxes from Wholesale Supplies Plus, they come out to be about 25 cents each. Now, if you're going to get a soap label, I just did a really quick estimate from Vistaprint. It is cheaper if you print your own labels. However, then you've got to factor in things like ink and the printer itself and all that sort of nonsense. That takes a lot more time to calculate that out. So for the sake of this purpose, if you were to get like a small rectangular custom printed label from Vistaprint in 100 each, say you're getting 100 each. If you get more, they're going to be cheaper. It's about 158 cents each. And that's how you calculate your costs, guys. So again, to review, this is what the per bar cost is for the materials. You're going to pay yourself $2 each per bar that you sell. The soap box that you paid for was 25 cents each, and the label that you paid for is $1.48 each. Your packaging cost might be totally different. That is up to you to enter that into your very own spreadsheet. Over here in column J, we have the total for each bar of soap. In this case, it is a bar of soap. And again, this is where we're going to be making a formula. We're doing sums again here as well. So we go up here. We're adding all of these things together. $2.48 plus $2. We're already at $4.48 plus the 25 cents. That's what, $4.73. And then you add in $1.48, and here we go, $6.21 each per bar of soap. You should not be charging less than $6.21 for a bar of soap if this is your recipe. You can alter your costs by altering your recipe. That's important to know. You can also round this up to make it $6.25, $6.57. That part is entirely up to you, but do not charge less than this, okay? All right, guys, so hopefully that set of screenshot type videos was able to shed some light on how you can use a spreadsheet to track your recipe costs and really to make sure that you're not undercharging. You're probably not overcharging, especially looking at a soap recipe. Soap is very expensive to produce. There's not a lot of room for filler because it's mostly oils, and soap makers tend to use good quality butters and oils. We're not just using like runoff materials. So it's expensive to make soap, and as that spreadsheet has shown you, it's important to make sure you know exactly what your materials are costing you, so you know what your profit margins are and you can charge appropriately. The recipe that I had entered, I would not sell that soap for less than $6.50. Honestly, I think the cost came out to, what was it, $6.21 per bar. That's a weird number, so I'd want to round that up to $6.50 or maybe even $7 per bar. If your customers aren't going to pay that much for a bar of soap, you need to change your recipe and alter your recipe. And little ways to cut those costs down a bit. The aloe vera juice costs a lot more than distilled water does. Even that small amount of water that I put into the recipe was costly. It doesn't have to be that costly if charging $7 a bar is a problem for you. That formula and that spreadsheet interchanges very easily with any sort of recipe that you're producing. It's up to you to list the ingredients that you're using, but if you have your master spreadsheet with all of your costs in it, it's very easy to copy and paste those per ounce costs into your specific recipe spreadsheet, and it's going to tell you what everything's costing you materials wise, and then you enter in your labor charges and your packaging and all that sort of thing, and you're going to get a really good idea of what to charge for your products. Some products are going to come out low. Bath bombs, for example. I don't make bath bombs, so I don't have a recipe to demonstrate. I mean, I could have just put something basic in there, but I used soap because I make soap and it's easy for me to come up with a quick recipe for something like that. But bath bombs are very cheap to produce, and if you're coming out with your costs, even if you're charging $3 labor each, and it's only costing you like $3.42 to make a bath bomb, that's where you charge more, and that extra money is your profit and your money, and it's okay to be competitive and to charge a little more. Don't limit yourself to, oh, well, Annie told me to put $2 in for my labor and my overhead, and it's only coming up to $3.50. I can't charge more than $3.50. No, you can, and you should. Charge as much as you can get away with, honestly. Just make a separate little part in your spreadsheet that says, this is my extra profit. It's important to make sure you're making money and also be competitive. Don't undercut yourself because I said $2. So yeah, that's it. I got a pill alarm going off here. That pretty much wraps up my video anyways, though. Tell me what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's useful for you. Maybe you're intimidated by Excel because you've never had to use Excel before. I keep saying Excel when I myself use Google Spreadsheets. Anyways, hopefully you can use a spreadsheet now in a very most simple way and really keep good track of your costs. So yeah, let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Instagram @Arachne's Demise, and more videos coming soon. Thanks, guys.